أحبتنا في كل مكان، نرحب فيكم في حلقة جديدة من برنامجكم الأسبوعي الرياضة في عيون دبلوماسية، اللي من خلاله نقدم لكم زاوية رياضية مغايرة عن المألوف. تعودنا نسمع الرأي الرياضي من وجهة نظر الرياضيين وأصحاب الاختصاص، ولكن في برنامجنا هذا راح نشوف الرياضة عبر عيون الدبلوماسيين. ضيفنا اليوم دبلوماسي مهم وصاحب منصب مرموق من بلد كبير بإنجازاته في كل المجالات وخاصة في المجال الرياضي. وإن بغيت الصج هو مو بلد، هي قارة بحالها تعتبر من أجمل القارات بالعالم، واللي تمتلك طبيعة خلابة ورائعة. خلونا نشوف التقرير وبعدها نتعرف على ضيفنا اليوم.
بموقعها الجغرافي المميز على خريطة العالم، هي تلك القارة المتكاملة من جميع نواحيها البشرية والاقتصادية والتاريخية، وبمجتمعها الخليط بالأجناس المتعددة الذي شكل لها شخصيتها المتميزة ورونقها المثالي. أستراليا، والتي تتكون من مجتمع شمولي متسامح يتألف من مواطنين ذوي خلفيات متعددة، حيث أن تعدد الثقافات يشكل ميزة أساسية في الهوية الأسترالية، مما يوفر لها قدرة لا مثيل لها للتواصل مع العالم. تقع أستراليا في مراكز عالية ومتقدمة في العديد من التصنيفات العالمية، مثل التنمية البشرية وجودة الحياة والرعاية الصحية والعمر المتوقع والتعليم العام والحرية الاقتصادية، وتتمتع بسجل قوي من الابتكارات والإنجازات في كثير من المجالات، بما في ذلك العلوم والطب والصناعة والزراعة. كما تعتبر أستراليا أمة رياضية، حيث الأعمال والمجتمع يكونان معا لتبادل شغف الرياضة. وتمتاز أستراليا بالقدرة على صناعة الأحداث الرياضية الكبرى من العدم، انطلاقا من الجمهور الرياضي المدعوم بالعزيمة والتركيز والرؤية الواضحة. وتمكنت أستراليا من خلق أرقى الفعاليات الرياضية حول العالم على الدوام. أستراليا هي تلك البلد المتنوع والمحب للرياضة والرياضيين، وبشعبها الحضاري الذي يجمعهم روح الألفة والتعاون ونشر الخير فيما بينهم للنهوض بمجتمع مثالي ومتميز.
إذن بعد ما شفنا هذا التقرير الجميل عن قارة أستراليا المميزة الجميلة، يسعدنا أن نلتقي بسفير أستراليا في دولة الكويت السيد وورن هاوك للحديث عن أجواء الرياضة في أستراليا وبعض الأمور الدبلوماسية التي تخص الجانب الدبلوماسي بالسيد وورن. نرحب فيك سيد وورن في هذا اللقاء، وإن شاء الله سنستمتع معا عبر محاور هذا اللقاء في الرياضة في عيون دبلوماسية.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here.
في البداية سيد وورن، حدثنا عن دخولك في مجال السلك الدبلوماسي بشكل عام.
Yeah, sure. I, in fact, started my career at our Ministry of Finance, working there. I spent some time in one of our junior ministers' offices and got to see some politics up close. And realised that maybe a life in diplomacy away from politics was a better way for me. So I joined our foreign ministry. I've had the pleasure of serving in Indonesia, in Jakarta, which is Australia's largest embassy overseas. I've also had the pleasure, when I first joined the Foreign Service, of travelling through the region. This is some 10 years ago, writing a book on economic developments in the region, including Kuwait, and then working on Iraq policy after that. So I've had a few opportunities to do different things within our foreign service.
تستمتع بهذه المهنة وهذه التجربة الدبلوماسية في عملك؟
Very much so. I mean, how can you not, being the Australian ambassador to any country overseas, let alone Kuwait? I mean, this is a fantastic honour to have achieved this, and the opportunity to go to different countries, represent your country in different countries. I mean, I'm lucky. Australia, I truly believe, is the best country in the world. So I'm very lucky that I get to sell something that I really love.
إذن حدثنا عن التجربة الدبلوماسية في الكويت منذ توليك السفارة في دولة الكويت.
Yeah, this is the first time I've had the opportunity to live in the region. So I've travelled through before for work, but not yet lived here. So it's a new experience for me and for my family. I have young children. But Kuwait, I've arrived about 6 months ago, and the overriding impression coming in as a diplomat is one of being welcomed into people's homes, be it through diwaniyas or through business as well. It's a very open and welcoming society. Now, I must also admit that the Kuwaitis' ability through Ramadan and the diwaniyas to keep working through till 2 or 3 in the morning is beyond me. I got very tired through Ramadan, but it was a very warm and humbling experience to be welcomed so much.
إذا كان التأقلم في الكويت سريعا يعني من بداية يعني توليك منصب سفير أستراليا في الكويت.
I like to think so, yes. As I said, it's been a very welcoming experience, and of course, being Australia has a lot of experience in the region and exposure in the region. So we have some real things we're trying to do here. We've obviously had a long history with Kuwait, not least of which the involvement that we had in the liberation in 1991. And there's a lot of goodwill towards Australia in Kuwait. I talk with people who've travelled to Australia or been educated in Australia, and they all speak wonderfully of their experiences. That's very much helped me as a diplomat start to get into Kuwait and life in Kuwait.
نعم. في ظل يعني هذه الضغوطات، ضغوطات العمل والالتزامات الكثيرة، سواء كانت على النطاق الدبلوماسي والاجتماعي ما بين أصدقائك في الكويت، هل هناك وقت فراغ سعادة السفير تقدر يعني تمارس فيه بعض الرياضة مثلا في الكويت؟
There is, and I'm starting to make more time to play some sports. Otherwise, all I'm doing is sitting, talking and eating in Kuwait. So I've started to play squash again after, I must admit, after some years of not playing squash. And parts of my body are telling me that it's been a long time since I last played squash. I'm also doing some running here as well. I would also love to get back into football or soccer, as we still call it in Australia. I've played for a long time, and I'm looking forward, once the summer is finished, to having the opportunity to play that here as well.
يعني إذا بغينا نتكلم عن الرياضة والسياسة، هل تعتقد أن هناك علاقة ما بين السياسة والرياضة؟
Sports in Australia is, and I'll talk about this more no doubt, but it's almost like a religion for us. It's very, Australians love their sports. But what it is also, we as a culture and society in Australia have people from across the world. And it's the one area where we really do all come together to cheer for Australia. So we try and keep our politics in that sense out of our sport, because it is, as I said, the one place where we can forget the politics, come together as Australians and just enjoy sport. That said, of course, there is still a link between sports and politics. And even within my own government at the moment, we have a big program now of sports diplomacy and how we interact with countries throughout the world on sports diplomacy, if it's getting coaches to Australia or sporting teams exchanging, going to each country. So there is still a very strong link internationally between sports and politics.
سؤال دائما يدور في ذهني، أود أن أسألك كدبلوماسي وسياسي، هل السياسة لها دور في تطوير الرياضة بشكل عام؟
Look, it depends on, I think it depends on the country to some extent. Certainly within Australia, given that sports is so big in Australia, politics and sports, although we'd like to keep it out, it is still part of what makes us Australians. So large parts of what the government does in Australia includes funding for sporting teams and support for our sportsmen. So of course there is links there between sports and politics, and if a politician has a particular sporting love, then no doubt they will be trying to develop that sport as well. that also goes internationally. So I was in Indonesia and we were getting the Indonesians to start playing Australian rules football. So for Kuwaitis who aren't familiar, Australia has more or less created our own sport, so of course we're the best at it. And we're now starting to try and teach some of the countries in the region that sport as well. So it's a real overlap between sports and politics.
إذن سنستكمل هذا الحوار ولكن سنذهب إلى فاصل. من بعد الفاصل نستكمل حوارنا مع بعض. مشاهدينا مستمرين معاكم بهذا الحوار مع السيد وورن سفير استراليا في دولة الكويت. سيد وورن، بودي أن أتكلم عن الأنشطة سواء كانت الرياضية أو الثقافية أو الاجتماعية التي تقيمها السفارة مع الجالية الأسترالية، أو يعني الاندماج مع الجالية أو الجاليات الأخرى العربية أو الأجنبية في الكويت كنشاطات.
Yeah, we do. The life of the embassy is very broad, so we do a lot of things. We support Australians overseas, of course, who are in trouble or need passports. We, as an embassy, we're looking at our trade and the business links that we have with Kuwait. I'm very much interested about how we can build our business-to-business links with Kuwait, increase investment from Kuwait into Australia, but also getting Australian companies out here to Kuwait and helping develop Kuwait as well. We also look at things like education links and tourism links. Of course, we want more Kuwaitis travelling to Australia as tourists. We would like more Kuwaitis coming to study in Australia as well. We have some wonderful places. We have the fourth most number of tertiary students in the world in Australia, and I think Melbourne the other day was voted the most livable city in the world for the fourth time in a row. It is a very nice place. Yeah. So the role of the embassy crosses all of those, as well as academic. We also are talking with the Kuwaitis about what's happening in Iraq and what's happening in Syria, and trying to get a better understanding of that. So it's, as I said, it's a very broad role. I sometimes say to people that the role of an ambassador is somewhere between salesman, politician, academic and reporter, sort of all rolled up into one.
إذن دعنا نتكلم عن يعني مهمتكم كسفارة استرالية في دولة الكويت ب يعني تسهيل مهمة العملية الدراسية سواء للطلبة المبتعثين إلى استراليا أو أيضا الجامعات. في هناك جامعة أسترالية في الكويت، يعني هل لكم دور في عملية تسهيل هذه المهمة ويعني التعاون ما بين الأطراف لعمل هذه التوأمة ما بين وزارة التربية أو الشركات الخاصة أو القطاعات الخاصة في الكويت؟
Yeah, there's a lot of different aspects to education relationship between Australia and Kuwait. So we do have, first off, the colleges here that are Australian or affiliated with Australia. So the Australian College of Kuwait or Box Hill College as well. So I've talked with them, we're keeping close contact about how they're going and what assistance and support the Australian Embassy can provide to those institutions. They're very good institutions, and we're very happy that they're part of the Australian business community here in Kuwait. As to students themselves travelling to Australia, I was fortunate enough through being organised by the National Union of Students here to speak to a group of students who are travelling down to Australia under the current scholarship system, tell them about Australia. reassure them that the sharks in Australia are not as ferocious as they hear, and give them a better idea about the sort of support that they have. Obviously the Kuwaiti government themselves provides a lot of support for their students overseas in Australia through the Cultural Office, which is in Australia, which is an excellent body which supports the Kuwait students. But we also have universities who are coming up here even this month, middle of this month. A group called StudyCo will be having a student fair at the Sheraton Hotel to try and give some more information about studying in Australia. And we're also looking at where Australian education institutions can work with Kuwaiti bodies on their own curriculums, on their own how they build their programs here in Kuwait. So it's not just students going to and fro. It's also about how the programs here are and what we can do to help build up the Kuwaiti education system.
نعم. دعنا نذهب قليلا إلى استراليا. هذا البلد أو القارة العريقة خاصة في الرياضة، يعني امتازت استراليا بمنشآت مميزة، بصناعة رياضة فعلية حقيقية، صناعة أبطال رياضيين بكل الألعاب سواء كانت جماعية أو فردية. حدثنا قليلا عن استراليا.
Yeah, I mean, being an Australian and talking about sport is very easy. As I said, it isn't what we're all about. We do have other interests, but it is very dear to our hearts. So we put a lot of effort and a lot of time and resources into developing sport in Australia. We are very fortunate that we have, as you said, we have a large continent and a large body of land and good weather. So we're able to be outside ourselves and playing sport a lot. That also means that we've been fortunate to host a number of great events. So I remember watching the Olympics in Australia back in 2000, but more recently the World Cup cricket, which was in Australia this year. We have the Netball World Cup later in Australia this year. So there's a number of, we're very fortunate that we have such events that go on. And of course the Asian Football Cup.
الأستراليين سعادة السفير لديهم ثقافة رياضية جميلة مميزة، يعني يعتزون ويفتخرون بالرياضي إذا كان أحد أفراد العائلة أو كان صديق. يعني الرياضة يعتبرونها رمز جميل ويدعمونها بشكل كبير سواء من المواطنين أو حتى الحكومة أو المؤسسات الخاصة في أستراليا. حدثنا عن ذلك.
Look, it starts from the smallest sporting organisation in Australia right up to the government. Within the town that I have lived for the last 20 years, Canberra, we have the Australian Institute of Sport, which is one of the world leading bodies on sports management, sports medicine as well. So we and again in the Olympics, for example, if I take that as a mark of how we are, Australia, we don't have the largest population in the world, but we're always up there towards the top of the medal tally. And this is because we love sport, but also because of the resources and the expertise that we have in sport, in coaching, in sports management. And most of our organisations are linked up. So if you're in a small town and you're doing well, there is a progression for you to progress from there where you get support to represent your city, to your state, to eventually your country. And I've seen that up close. My sister, for example, was a very good softball player. For those who don't know, softball, a bit like baseball, but generally for women. And she represented a state in Australia at our national championships. So I've seen up close the kind of support that they get moving through.
دعنا نتكلم عن التعصب الرياضي. نعلم أن الأستراليين يعني يعشقون الرياضة، خاصة في بعض الألعاب اللي يمتازون فيها، الكريكت مثلا، لعبة يعني فيها حماس، فيها ندية. كيف ترى التعصب الأسترالي الرياضيين أو المشجعين الأستراليين في أستراليا؟ هل هو يعني تعصب واضح أم لا يوجد تعصب كثقافة أسترالية مميزة؟ احنا نعرفهم دائما الجمهور الأسترالي جمهور واعي وجمهور مثقف.
Look, I think all sport in various countries sometimes draws out people that get a bit too passionate in the sports that they play. As I said, we're very passionate, but in something like cricket, not so much. We tend to be vocal supporters, but in a very peaceful and nice way. Possibly the English might say that otherwise sometimes. But in the fields of football and other big codes in Australia like rugby league, people do get very passionate in some of these games. There have been instances where those passions have become a bit too much, but they're very rare, and we have they're very closely monitored. So there is no issue in Australia, for example, taking your family to a football game, and certainly everyone in Melbourne almost religiously goes to watch the Australian rules football every week. It's a very nice family outing.
مستمرين معك سعادة السفير، ولكن سنذهب إلى فاصل قصير. بعد الفاصل سنعود. مشاهدينا فاصل وردين. إذن سعادة السفير، بودي أن أسألك النادي المفضل لك في أستراليا، أي نادي تشجع؟
It depends in which sport, of course. We have Australian rules, and I follow a team called Essendon. In rugby, teams in Canberra. But of course, if I switch to football, soccer, we have a team called the Western Sydney Wanderers, which is one that I follow. And overseas, I lived in England for a little while, not far away from Chelsea.
أعتقد أنك تختار الأفضل في كل لعبة.
I wish. Unfortunately, one of my teams this year, Essendon, did not very well, and even cricket, of course, I follow Australia closely, but unfortunately, we just lost what's called the Ashes to England, which is our main cricket rivalry. So it hasn't all been good news this year.
إذا دعنا نتكلم عن كرة القدم. يعني منتخب أستراليا ومنتخب الكويت تقابلا ب10 مرات، 5 مرات فاز منتخب الكويت على أستراليا، 3 مرات تعادل، أو مرتين تعادل و3 مرات فوز أستراليا، والمرة الأخيرة اللي تقابلنا فيها مع منتخب أستراليا فاز علينا منتخب أستراليا 4-1. هذه المباريات ما بين المنتخبين هل تشكل لك تحدي ما بين أصدقائك الكويتيين أن يعني سنقابلكم في المباراة القادمة وسنفوز عليكم، فزتوا علينا، تعادلنا، الأمور هذه اللي بين المشجعين دائما تصير؟
No, it doesn't cause a problem. Of course, we won the most important game, which was the last game that we've played. But no, I've been congratulated on Australia's success at the Asian Cup when we did win the championship. So generally, Kuwaitis have been very good about it. Now, of course, I had the dare I say, good pleasure of watching Australia play Kuwait and us win. Not live on TV, but I did get to see Kuwait play the UAE in Canberra live. And unfortunately, Kuwait lost, but they didn't deserve to. They played with more heart than the UAE, so it was disappointing to see the result in that one.
حين كنت تتابع المباراة كان معك في أحد من الكويتيين يتابع معك ولا كنت تتابع المباراة وحدك؟
No, there were Kuwaitis there as well. The Kuwait embassy was there, and there was also travelling with the Kuwait team. There was a number of VIPs who were there as well. I, of course, was cheering loudly with the Kuwaitis to try and get Kuwait across the line, which was very good. I mean, I should also say we had in Canberra, we got a number of teams, including Bahrain and other teams, and it was remarkable and great to see Australians turning up to cheer on Bahrain. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not sure too many of them could point to where Bahrain would be on a map, but they were there cheering them on and willing them to win.
دعنا نتكلم عن البطولات التي تنظمها استراليا. يمكن آخر بطولة كانت كأس آسيا. تنظيم استراليا للبطولات تنظيم احترافي مميز، خاصة يمكن بعد انضمامها إلى الاتحاد الآسيوي في عام 2006. بدأت استراليا بالدخول في كرة القدم الأسترالية بشكل كبير، وتنظيمها كان مميز. حدثنا عن هذا الموضوع.
We take great pride in organising sporting events and major international sporting events. I mean, we love watching it, so of course we want it in our country. And whenever you're hosting it, your home team plays a little better, so there is that added advantage. But also, the Asia Cup being an example where it was a real pleasure to host countries from around Asia where we might not always have strong ties. So, as I said, getting teams from somewhere like Bahrain, where unfortunately we don't have an embassy, but getting those teams down to Australia, getting Australians to understand what some of these countries have to offer, and showing them some Australian hospitality and some good food is always just a wonderful thing to be able to do. So yeah, we're very proud and very fortunate to be able to do that.
نعم، دعنا نتكلم سعادة السفير عن يعني اهتمام استراليا في الأعمار الصغيرة في القاعدة الأساسية للرياضيين. كيف ترى يعني إنشاء القاعدة الأساسية والأعمار الصغيرة للاعبين بشكل عام، كل الألعاب تكلم عنها؟ هل تعتقد أن استراليا يعني تركز على هذه الفئة العمرية بشكل كبير؟
Yes, I do. I mentioned earlier we put a lot of resources into supporting our sportsmen as they come through. Now we do that for a couple of reasons. One, yes, we want to see our sportsmen achieve overseas. It's great that to see Australians playing in the English Premier League, or to see Australian tennis players challenging the number ones in the world, and to be winning the Asia Cup. But we also do that because it then encourages more Australians to get into sport, and it's something that our government is quite keen to do. Yes, it is good for it's good for participation. It's good for people's health. So we do a lot of work to encourage people to get out there and be active. That extends to what we do in the region as well, where the reason why we're encouraging other countries to send coaches to Australia, yes, politics and sport overlap, but also we want to encourage other countries to be active as well.
حدثنا عن الرياضة التي تستهويك. ماذا تحب أن تمارس من رياضة؟
Look, I've played lots of sports, so the list is very long. I've played soccer or football, tennis, Australian rules football, squash, swimming. I do running as well. Even netball, which is normally a women's sport, but I'll move on from that. So there are many sports that I've played, but since I was young, 4 years old, I've played football, and my dad was German, and he instilled a love of football in me. Unfortunately, I've had to barrack for Germany many years at the World Cup because Australia wasn't able to make the World Cup for many years. But because of that, I've played and loved football my whole life.
إذا لديك سعادة سفير ذكريات كثيرة في الرياضة. أذكر لنا موقف يعني لن تنسى، يعني موقف رياضي أثناء ممارسة الرياضة أو شيء في الذاكرة.
It's an easy one for me. Easily the best sporting memory I have, and I do have a few. Aside from my own of being fortunate to win some lower level championships, but Australia trying to qualify for the 2006 World Cup, we were playing Uruguay in the final game qualifying for the World Cup. This was 2005. To secure the final position. Australia hadn't been in the World Cup for 32 years, and it came down to penalty shootouts. So I was in the stands with about 100,000 other Australians cheering on the Socceroos, as we call them, to win the game, and they won on penalty shootouts, and we secured a spot in the World Cup final, and I don't think I could talk for about a week afterwards from yelling and singing.
إذا سعادة سفير، المباراة الأخيرة بيننا وبين استراليا فزتوا علينا ب4 أهداف مقابل هدف. أنا لازم أثأر لمنتخب الكويت وراح أتحداك واختار لك لعبة سعادة سفير أن نتقابل فيها وتكون لابس رياضة وأنا كان لابس رياضة ونتحدى بعض في هذه اللعبة.
I'm ready for it. You've seen what happened last time, so I'm ready to instill the same punishment on.
I'm afraid now, you know. Okay. بإذن الله إن شاء الله راح نلتقي مع بعض في ملعب رياضي وراح نمارس بعض مهاراتنا ونشوف مهاراتك سعادة السفير، وأنا قاعد أشوف من الحين القوام قوام لاعب رياضي محترف.
Yes, I haven't quite eaten enough Q80 desserts yet to lose my sports physique, luckily. So I look forward to it.
Okay. إذا مشاهدينا راح نلتقي معاكم في الفقرة الأخيرة وتحدي ونشوف بعض مهارات سعادة السفير. تابعونا. Hi, how are you, Mr.
Good. How are you?
Fine?
Yeah, very
Good.
well.
You're ready?
Of course.
You wear a nice t-shirt, huh?
Australian
Sorry.
colours.
Oh,
Yeah.
very tough. اوكي مشاهدينا الكرام، يمكن وعدناكم ان نلتقي في هذا الملعب، ملعب كرة قدم، ونمارس بعض من هوايات سعادة سفير وارن هاوك سفير دولة استراليا في الكويت. This your choice, this game.
Of course.
وهو اختار لعبة كرة القدم، واحنا ان شاء الله راح نكون مع بعض في يعني هذا الملعب، وراح نشوف مهارات سعادة سفير. ولكن قبل هذا راح اسال سعادة سفير، متى اخر مرة لعبت كرة قدم؟
Look, unfortunately, it's been a little while, about 8 months since I last played football. Since I've moved over here to Kuwait 6 months ago, I've just not had the opportunity to get out and start playing. But I'm hopeful that now summer's finished, I can get out and start playing a few games again.
ماذا عن مهاراتك؟ اليوم أنا بناديك كابتن. كابتن، ما هي مهاراتك في كرة القدم؟
My skills on the football field. Look, 10 years ago I probably said I was a fairly decent player. I've always played a defensive or a midfield type role. And to be honest, I've always quite enjoyed. Everyone loves scoring a goal.
Okay.
I've always quite enjoyed tackling people, and if I'm honest, putting them on the ground out there on the field as well.
Are you ready for challenge?
I am very ready.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
سعادة السفير، بودي أن أسأل سؤال. يعني يمكن في هذا المركز شباب الكويتي يمارس كرة القدم للهواة، يعني بعكس لاعبين الأندية لهم أندية خاصة وكذا. في استراليا كيف يتعامل اللاعب الهاوي لكرة القدم؟ وين يلعب؟ شلون ملاعبه؟ شلون الساحات اللي موجودة في استراليا اللي يعني يقدر يلعب فيها اللاعب الأسترالي الصغير؟
Yeah, I mean, I was an amateur in Australia, very much so. And we're fortunate in that we have plenty of playing fields, and so our amateurs can join. They generally join sporting associations, but local clubs, and they can play on the fields. For a small membership, you will play through the season. But if they don't want to join a club, to be fair, you can just go to the local park and play on the field or in the backyards. Many of our children play soccer or cricket in their backyards growing up. It's, again, a wonderful thing where it's not 52 degrees, being able to do that.
Yeah. Okay, that stretching is important for player. We should make stretching.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What about stretching for player? Agility and stretching. It's important thing, I know.
Yeah, very important. Again, and I'll admit, as I'm not yet too old, but as I get older, stretching becomes even more important. All the muscles, they need warming up before we play. Otherwise I get injured very quickly.
Yeah.
I think my balance is better than yours.
وصلنا إلى المنافسة الحقيقية، سخنا والأمور طيبة، وأتوقع أن الكابتن وارن عنده مهارات قوية وكبيرة في التسديدة على المرمى. خلينا نشوف الحين مع بعض. كابتن، راح نلعب 5 شوتات ب5 شوتات، لك شوتة ولي شوتة إلى 5 شوتات، ونشوف آخر شيء من اللي راح يفوز. إذا فازت استراليا راح تضيف هذه النتيجة إلى منتخب استراليا، وإذا ضافت الكويت هي اللي راح تصير يعني أعلى نسبة فوز. راح نكون فايزين عليكم 6 مباريات. تقبل التحدي؟
Yeah.
أوكي let's go.
Okay.
أوه جود شوت. اوه الله. نفس الزاوية نفس الزاوية، عرفت أنا الضعف. اوه إذا مشاهدينا، هذا الفوز لمنتخب استراليا اليوم راح يضاف إلى نتائج استراليا مع منتخبنا الوطني. أنا اليوم صراحة يعني حاولت قدر الإمكان، ولكن ما قدرت صراحة. يعني مهارات سعادة السفير كانت اليوم شوية حاضرة معنا، ومع أن حارس المرمى حاول أنه يعني يصيد بعض الكرات، ولكن بعد هذه كرة القدم. كانت مباراة جميلة جدا، استمتعنا سعادة السفير بهذه المهارات وهذا اللعب. Are you enjoying?
Oh, very much. No, yeah. it was great fun and great to get back on a football field. It's been too long.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Owen, and يعني إن شاء الله نتمنى في لقاءات قادمة تلعب نفس هذه المهارات، ولكن بدبلوماسيتك السياسية في سفارة استراليا في دولة الكويت. نستمر معك في الحديث عن يعني الكرة الآسيوية، بما أن استراليا انضمت إلى الاتحاد الآسيوي لكرة القدم. كيف تقييمك للفرق الآسيوية؟ هل هي بتقدم يعني ورقي في كرة القدم كمستوى فني لجميع الفرق، سواء كانت الخليجية أو الغير خليجية، في نطاق كرة القدم الآسيوية؟
Oh, look, I think, and I'm sure my soccer friends, football friends would agree, Asia is where the growth market is in football at the moment, and why we're excited to be part of the Asian Cup. I think for too long we've had the Germanys and the Englands and the Brazilians of the world dominating the football world. What a wonderful World Cup it would be if we had Australia versus Kuwait, or Kuwait versus Japan in the finals. Much as I love our friends from Europe, I would love to have a World Cup that didn't involve one of those or the Brazilians one time.
نعم. إذن في عندي سؤال سعادة السفير ودي أسألك إياه. بما أن دولة قطر الآن ستستضيف كأس العالم 2020، ماذا تتوقع لقطر في هذه الاستضافة؟ هل يعني ستكون استضافة إن شاء الله نتمنى أن تكون ناجحة برأيك؟
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously Australia was competing for the World Cup at that time, so it was bittersweet, but of course having the World Cup in Asia is a great thing. It'll be, I'm sure Qatar will do a wonderful job hosting the World Cup, and inshallah, hopefully I might be able to be there to watch some of it over there as well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Horn, and nice to meet you. and this يعني استمتعنا كثير بهذه اللعبة معاك وهذا اللقاء عبر محاور كثيرة يمكن تكلمنا فيها، سواء كانت عن طريق الجانب الدبلوماسي والسياسي أو الجانب الرياضي. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much too. I mean, I just want to say it's been a real pleasure. As I said before, for Australia, sport and politics. Sport breaks down politics. We can all come together and play sport, and it's been wonderful to see us and Kuwait on the football field together. And for those who didn't get to Australia to watch Kuwait play Australia, you know where we are. It's a wonderful place to come down, and hopefully sometime I can welcome you down there as well.
Thank you. إذا مشاهدينا، هذا كان اللقاء مع سعادة السفير، سفير أستراليا في دولة الكويت السيد وورن هاوك. تكلمنا عن أمور كثيرة، استمتعنا معاكم وبمشاهدتكم لنا. نلتقي معاكم في حلقة قادمة. لكم من التحية، مع السلامة.